Welcome to Captive Conversations. I'm your host, Adam from Captive Wi-Fi. Join us as we dive into behind-the-scenes stories of hospitality leaders exploring tech, operations, and marketing through the eyes of the experts. Let's get the inside scoop together. Hello, everyone. This is episode 16. Give everyone a virtual wave. This is David Bird from Impact Data /Talkbox. And thank you for coming in. Very kind. And you found a better route in, which is good. So hopefully you'll be in London more.
Yep, I've managed to hack the train network and get down here in record time. So I'm happy with that. Yeah,
amazing. Do you do the loyalty for the train network?
No, I think that would be an impossible task as well, given the prices.
Okay, so we're going to start with the two questions from the previous guest, which was Lucy from Airship. And her two questions were, which was the first one was pretty tricky.
First one was a bit of a doozy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. She did it on purpose. She knew you were coming. No, she didn't. The question was, what makes you unique? What do you think you can beat anyone if you were challenged to it?
Okay, so I've had a think, 15-minute think about this. Mm-hmm. I spend a silly amount of time on Google Maps. Mm-hmm. I virtually travel the globe on Google Maps. I believe if you was to show me a street view picture of anywhere on the globe, I'd be able to tell you exactly where you were within a 50-mile radius.
I think we have to do that challenge at the end of this.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, we could do that. But yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Have you heard of GeoGuessr?
Yeah, well, GeoGuessr? No, I haven't heard of that.
GeoGuessr is like they've gamified it. So
yeah. So
do that for you.
I know geotagging and obviously what's the other one where you go find stuff in random places?
Oh, that's
geocaching. Yeah.
No, GeoGuessr, you see a series of street view pictures.
Yeah.
And you have to select on the map where you think that place is.
Okay, so you've done a lot of that then.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Out of all the people I know, I'm probably the best.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Bit of a map geek.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. That was a great question, though.
It was a good question.
Pretty tricky.
It took you a while.
I'm glad you gave me some preamble to decide.
Yeah, a little bit of time. I should have given it to you earlier. I did say you'd have it in the morning.
Yeah, maybe I could have given a more corporate one.
No, that was perfect. That's perfect. I think it was more of a person. People have been doing the first question to be personally, personal, and the second question to be sort of like that one. So the second one is, if you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, the easy one. So it would be spaghetti bolognese.
Mm-hmm.
My colleague Mark Tunstall, our ops director, said it was the best bolognese he's ever had in his life. He's older than me. He's more experienced. He's travelled the world.
Yeah.
So to get that type of feedback from Mark is pretty strong.
That's good.
And every time the Australians come over from Melbourne to the UK, I end up having to cook that for them in the Airbnb that we never
I love that.
Yeah. So it's become a bit of an art for me.
What's the secret ingredient?
Depends how you're feeling. You can put all sorts in it, can't you? The trick is not to muck about with it too much. The more you muck about, the further away from the core you're getting.
Yeah.
It's about doing the basics correct, and then adding a little pizzazz on top.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit of Marmite in there sometimes.
Marmite.
Soy sauce, actually, for that umami flavour.
God, little chefs come up.
Yeah.
A bit of umami.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, soy sauce. I never thought about putting soy in an Italian.
Yeah, Marmite sounds interesting.
Well, it's yeast extract, and it just, again, it's that umami.
Yeah,
flavor.
Worcester sauce, bit Tabasco.
It just boosts those core.
Like it a bit spicy or not?
Nah. My wife would kill me. Yeah, and I would try and make it slightly spicy, but she has a knack for finding out that I've messed about with this food.
And that little tear comes down her eye.
Yeah. Why have you given me this? I cannot eat it.
Thank you for those questions. We'll have to test you out on some of that.
We should actually, and I don't know how you would turn it into content, but we can have a go.
I would definitely think about doing like I forget the name of it now. My kid did it at school, the little quizzes. Anyway, on to the next questions, which are the standard questions, which is we do two at the beginning and then a couple afterwards. Best hospitality experience.
Well, it's probably been said before, but I went to Dishoom for the first time not so long ago in Manchester. Been wanting to go for a while. And I was just blown away. And the thing that hit me was the scent, just the smell. Like they've done some scent psychology. They've done something around that, just, to get people just to get really involved in the ambience of the restaurant. Great menu, great staff, great service. It was really, really cool.
And did you do order a table or did you?
No, not for that one. Okay. No, I don't think Dishoom. Have they started doing that now?
I don't know.
We had a great way to come over and explain.
I think it's all about the experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to before and it's been awesome, but then I've gone at like 10 o'clock when it's like rammed and you end up have a buzzer, and then you end up sitting in the bar, and I'm like, oh, I'm really hungry. It's amazing food come past, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, nothing worse waiting for that.
I went at the wrong time. It was just the wrong time. I didn't even book. I was just, I've had breakfast there before.
Okay, you need to do that.
Amazing. Anyway, that's awesome. So, and that was more about the experience, right? As well as the ambiance.
Yeah, just everything. Walking through, being greeted, the smells, the sights, the sounds. It's a whole experience of being sat down, and obviously the food is delicious. So yeah,
amazing. Best hospitality tech.
Best hospitality tech. Well, we work with a lot of partners, so we come across a lot of tech.
You do.
I can give you two answers for this if you want.
Okay, yeah, two's good.
So I was speaking to somebody, and this is probably a bit of recency bias, but I was speaking to the guys at Sentiment Search not so long ago.
He's coming in tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I was blown away. So feedback, but with AI.
Yeah.
So they've got AI bots doing the inbound conversations with customers. And then they're taking all the qualitative data from feedback reviews, which tend to be paragraphs, and they've got the AI analyzing it and spotting quantitative data from that and being able to present it in reports. So I love that. That was really cool.
Another thing that he does, which was really clever, is one that onboarding's like that.
Yeah, okay.
Rather than weeks, and the competitive research. So, so you own a burger place. You own 3 other burger places.
Yes, you've got benchmarking, haven't you?
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And our platform plugs into them as well. So they do feedback, so do we. So we have a word of mutual clients. So someone leaves feedback on our platform, we obviously gate the negative feedback. So his platform looks amazing because the client's like, yes, I'm getting 4 and 5 stars. It's awesome. And then they plug ours in and they go, oh yeah, there's some negative reviews there. We better fix them. But it's nice. Theirs plugged into us. So we feed our reviews into his platform, so he has a better overview of the reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very clever. He's coming tomorrow, so it should be fun.
No, well, that's cool. That was unprompted. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he paid you.
I suppose the second part to that would be integrations.
Mm-hmm.
So integrations come in many flavors. There's what you might refer to as functional integrations, where you've got two systems doing a thing, and you can pop your logos on each other's website and you can say we have an integration. But then there's deep integrations where you're actually solving problems on the integration side. And so, talking about best in class tech, look, nobody builds crap software, right?
Well,
everybody's.
I mean,
nobody intends
there's
to build
quite a lot of
software.
crap software out there, to be honest with you.
A lot of our partners, they're a best in breed, right?
Of course.
So that we all do what we do really well.
Yeah.
But then it's bringing them all together with you, Adam, and making sure that when you're doing the integration.
That wasn't a point for me, honestly. that was you to bring the mic nearer. But yeah,
thank
you. Of course, for me as well.
I interpreted it as a bit of self-promotion.
Continue.
No. It's just about bringing it together, the integrations, and making sure the integrations are solving problems.
Yeah.
And not just being like a functional thing that you can just point to and say, yes, we kind of know them and we've done this thing. The integrations are really key. So making sure we've got strong integrations ultimately results in better tech.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. We had conversations previously with other partners, and it's all about being open. Yes. And unfortunately, hospitality isn't all open, is it? So, no. But you work with the best partners who are open.
Yeah.
So you end up having a really good flow of data going backwards and forwards because everything's open. So, okay, we're going to go back in time. To be fair, I've not looked at you. I have looked at your LinkedIn when I connected to it.
Oh, it's not.
But oh my god! I mean, I was like, I wonder where else he worked, and I was like, I think we've got a lot of a similarity because we've been in the same place. Well, to be fair, it's mine, but we've been in the same company for a long time. You've been in the same company for a long time. So, talk to me about the route into hospitality from F&B to Impact Data.
Yes, saw that.
So, how did it start? Like, where did it all begin?
Well, firstly, I went to uni in Manchester, and I did psychology with the intent of using that experience to go down the marketing route. So I finished uni. I was just 20, 21, 22 when you finish uni. I had no idea what I was going to do. And then I ended up working at the it used to be called the Amiens Arena at the time.
Yeah,
I think it's called something else now, the Manchester Arena or something like that. And ended up working in the F&B department there. So we would do the kiosks and we would do the scheduling of staff and getting all the casual workers in for the F&B sales. And that was okay. Got to see a lot of free gigs and stuff. But it was awesome. just part-time work really, just to tie me over, keep me paying the rent in Manchester in the house share that I was in. And then I was at a friend. So my friend at the time had a pub, and his wife was the owner of the pub, and she used to have lock-ins. It was right in the city centre of Manchester.
Yeah.
So we were out and about after work one night at the arena. It was about midnight. Let's go to the pub for a lock-in. And at about 3 a.m., I got speaking to this Australian chap called Steve Fitzgerald, and he was he was staying upstairs, and he said, "Can I join you guys and have a few beers with you?"
Aussies are great. They can just do it.
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
they?
He just opened the door and was like, "I hear you
Hi.
guys having a lot of fun. I would like to join you." And we said,
And you
"More
heard
the
the
merrier."
accent, and you were like, done.
Yeah. So me and Steve got talking, and he was saying, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm working in Manchester Arena, but I'm looking to, start something like a career,
Yeah.
something that looks like a career, rather." And he said, "Oh, I've actually come over from the UK to set up a database marketing and digital marketing company. Shall we have a chat in a couple of weeks?" And this was at like 3:30 in the morning, and I thought, I'm going to say yes, because I'll never shoot down any opportunity.
Of course.
Always explore these avenues. And then 2 weeks later, he reached out and said, "Do you want to come and have a chat with us?" So that was the start of Impact Data in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they sent the Lone Ranger, Steve Fitzgerald, over.
Yeah. What was his role?
He was, well, it's going back a while now.
Yeah, of course.
As I understand it, he was like one of the best salespeople in Melbourne. And
they sent him to scope out.
They basically said, "Look, who wants to go to the UK and set the company up in the UK? You're the best sales guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're the man."
He's like, I'm going to have no tan. Shit.
Yeah. So they sent Steve over, and then he employed me. And then the first thing I was doing, and I don't know if your listeners will know, but I don't know. Do you know Manchester? Do you know Deansgate Locks?
Yeah.
So there's a load of bars in Deansgate Locks, and
Yeah.
Steve had managed to sell into a few of those sites. And my first job was looking after a promotional team whose job it was to go around and gather customer data on clipboards and pens.
Wow.
In return for a free shot.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing back in the day, just to build these databases. There was no fancy integration.
No GDPR.
No GDPR, no fancy integrations. It
Yeah.
was basically just clipboard and pen.
Yeah.
Would you like a free shot? Yes,
Yeah.
I would. Okay.
Give me your
Here's
email address. Love
and
that.
away we go.
And then in all the fit ones, give me a number.
Yeah, there was a bit of that. Yeah.
Or you can have an extra 3 shots. So awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I wasn't actually involved in the business side per se.
Yeah.
It was more on the assisting our existing customers grow databases.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really like low level stuff.
And then did you start to learn more sales with them? Or do they just throw you out and say, right, we need more people?
Yeah, so they hired.
Because I was looking at the website, I didn't know this, but obviously, like, there's quite a few other platforms that are the same. SMS and automation over to CRM, and that's what it was originally, right? Was the SMS platform? Is that right?
Oh, so going further back, yeah, the company.
No, for them, I just saw the website as well.
Well, the company started in 1999. It was just
Did
SMS.
it? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, founded by 4 brothers.
Yeah.
No, 2 brothers, 4 friends.
Yeah.
In Melbourne, and it was
What
just
comes to
SMS.
that? I just wanted to touch on that, but talk to me about. So you started doing your clipboards,
Did my
and you're
clipboards
still
for a
living in
bit.
Manchester.
I was still living in Manchester doing that, and then they decided to start scaling and growing. So they
Yeah.
hired 2 seasoned salespeople. I was so green. I didn't know how anything worked.
Yeah.
I was just
You were
there.
just happy to go for the ride.
Sorry.
Happy for jump on the ride.
Oh yeah, I was really pleased. So
Yeah.
there was 2 seasoned sales guys they hired, and then myself as like the young guy.
Yeah.
We did a bit of training, and away we went. And so I was just I was with BDM for a while.
Yeah.
Then I moved on to the CST side, managing customers, doing account management.
Why
that kind
does
of thing.
everyone have acronyms for everything? AMs, CSTs,
People are lazy, aren't they, I
BDMs.
suppose?
It's like an American. I mean, I get very confused. So give me what's this?
So CST, customer success team.
Okay, thanks. Sorry,
Yeah.
customer success.
So I was okay at selling.
Yeah.
But I was just so young and shy, and it was a bit.
So you were
quiet.
there now to nurture.
So I was just looking after retaining what we'd won.
Yeah.
Right? So we're a subscription-based company, so
Yeah.
it's important to look after both sides. And so I was just looking after the customers and making sure we retained them.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, Steve went back to Australia, and it was long story short, I was the only one left. And there was a decision in Australia: do we close the business down in the UK?
Yeah.
Or do we carry
And
on?
how old are you then?
When Steve went back to Australia, maybe, I don't know, 24, 20.
Okay, so you've been a couple of years in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I was left by myself, it was kind of like sink or swim time.
Yeah.
And I suddenly found a knack for, I just found I could sell really well. And we started growing.
Yeah.
And it was just me. And I was selling lots of accounts. And the guys in Melbourne, they barely knew who I was. It was just this guy Steve had employed.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, Dave's doing okay."
Do we still have the UK?
Yeah, yeah,
where's
yeah.
this money coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave's doing okay. We've
Yeah.
got some customers now, and the business is growing. So we'll back him. And so they gave me some budget, and we started growing the team and signing up new staff members to help established the business in the UK.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then so how many staff members did you start with? Just
it was just me, and then we hired like 2. So it's been a relatively small team.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us now.
Yeah. But to be fair, you've got the big office back there. So if you need any massive support, you've got that as well.
Yeah. I was in a meeting once with a large company. I won't mention their name. This was a while ago. And they were kind of scoffing that we had a lone headcount in the UK. And I thought, well, you don't really know what you're talking about. Like, you don't really understand how this works.
Yeah. You could be one headcount nowadays, to be honest with you.
You don't need loads of staff in a tech company when we've got a base in Australia.
Yes, true.
There's this thing called the internet that allows us to do stuff.
Did you teach them
globally?
There's this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
So I guess that depends who you're speaking to, but I think when they look into the company, they see the breadth of it, right?
Yeah, they're probably concerned about credibility.
Yeah,
they're probably concerned that we didn't have the chops to be able to handle an account that size.
Yeah.
Which was incorrect, but that's what you might assume. So I get it. Yeah.
Okay, and then what your role just increased in like 16 years. Is that right?
I haven't really thought about it.
Or is it just falling away on the wayside? It's like, when you get past 40, you sort of forget how old you are. You feel, whatever age.
Well, I'm 40 next year, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm getting there. No, I don't know the number. Is it 16?
Yeah, I think it was 16 and a bit.
Yeah, 16.
To be fair, congratulations.
So
hold on. Maybe I could do that. So your role is just obviously as time went on, you get more seasoned, and then you were doing more and more. Obviously, other staff were doing other things that you were doing previously, and then it's quite a nice progression. I mean, to be fair, good CV.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of ways you can go, isn't there? You can jump around and you can get experience that way.
Yeah. I have to say one thing. When I left my first IT job and got third job afterwards, when I out of uni, got a job, blah blah blah. I went to this software development company, and the owner was a Kiwi.
Okay.
The FD was Irish. The third development company, Swedish. I mean, you had literally, I think I was the only someone from the UK there.
Okay.
Best experience I've ever had. The nicest people I've ever worked with.
Oh, yeah.
The owner was like, I've taken the door off of my office, so come in whenever you like.
Yeah.
And that mentality was awesome. And I've met Lockie, so very open, and so on. So I think maybe that also helps.
You're absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Some people say, why haven't you moved on, or why are you still there? And well, first of all, I'm not bored.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love what I do. Helping our customers is phenomenal. Like, you get to see tangible benefit to what we're doing. It's not wishy-washy stuff. This is factually, we've delivered X, Y, Z, and that makes us proud. But the second part to that is the business is not like any other business I've known. So I've got friends that have been pretty high up. I won't mention any names in case I get them in trouble, but COO of a large trainer company, global trainer company. You can meet him for a beer, and he's about 2 years off a heart attack, I think. And my wife, she's jumped around a couple of jobs recently, and some of these businesses out there, they're just really, there's a lot of awkward businesses, a lot of politics, a lot of bullshit you have to put up with. And Impact Data is not like that. It's we all just work together to get the job done and deliver, and we all just look after each other, and we're all trusted to do stuff.
Well, to be fair, leaving you on your own in the country is quite a bit of trust. Like, let's leave Dave to just off he goes.
Yeah.
That's a leap of faith.
Well, like you said, I'm not sure if they knew I was actually there. I think they just saw invoices being paid.
This is money.
Something's
Great.
happening. We've set up some passive income in the UK. I don't know how this has happened. But yeah, and then I think the other thing is when you have kids as well, right? So your priorities change.
Yes.
And I won't get too deep, but my father was a company director, and he's no longer with us. He passed away some years ago, and partly that was down to stress. And he never saw us. And so I have had my kids, and I get to see them every single morning.
Nice.
Every single evening. Sports day tomorrow. I'm going to sports day.
He's not coming to the event tomorrow. Like I literally said, this event tomorrow. He's like,
Lucky, I'm not going to be in tomorrow. I'm going to sports day. No, but it's there's just no. Harriet, on the other hand, my wife.
Yeah.
She's got to fill in some forms and book it in.
Yeah.
It's just so much relaxed, and we're all just a big family.
Nice.
I know it sounds a bit corny, but
no. When I was starting doing by myself, it was just me. There wasn't anyone else when I was doing the IT side. But because I was doing the IT and some events as well, my kids we just moved into another house. My youngest was born.
Yeah.
I was with them the whole time. Like in the mornings, I see them every day. My wife was like over distressed from witching hour,
Yeah.
and I would take the kids out for walk and to Starbucks, whatever, and feed. And I actually I was less busy those days, but I was still obviously earning some money, and I thank those days every day. I thank for having the younger years available. Because my eldest is 16 in December, she's going to be driving and then she'll be gone. So she'll be out. Like I was out. But it was really nice to have that. Like for good sort of 4 or 5 years, even when I did have an office with like 1 or 2 staff, I was present. Then it went to a period of just being mentally busy and not being around much. But I agree with you. Having that is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really important. Family time is important.
I feel really, really privileged. All of the team in the UK really well looked after. And I think as you spotted with your line of questioning, there's got to be something there that's retaining those staff. I mean, my first hire was a chap called Anthony. Have you met Anthony?
No.
He heads up our CST team. What does that stand for?
Customer Success Team.
There you go. Correct.
There you go.
Well done.
I just think I was like,
yeah. So he's still with us. He was like my first hire.
Really?
Yeah. That
shows volumes. To be fair, right?
Retention is just incredible. Nobody wants to leave.
It's a shame that hospitality doesn't have the same thing for them in restaurants and stuff. My first ever employee is sitting in the other room for 10 years.
There you go.
So you're right. Yeah, 100%. If you look after them, they will stay as well. So I'm a big believer in looking after your team. Okay. Let's move on to what is impact data. Because what is the product? How does it work? Because the website doesn't really show really what it does. Like it's a very nice website, but there's a lot more power behind that little page of we can give you this.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What is it for? What do we use it for? Talk to me.
I agree. There's loads of stuff behind the scenes that you and I have spoken about. It's not really, it's that front and center.
Yeah. So obviously it's, people know what a CRM is, right? There's lots of CRMs out there. They're some have automation, some have clever stuff. This is the crux of it is actually funny enough that the podcast just came out today. Obviously this is coming out later.
Yeah.
They called theirs a CDP, customer data platform, but they're American.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's basically a CRM, but on speed, right?
Yeah. Well, the Aussies would have a different view.
Okay, interesting.
So a CRM to the Aussies is something a bit like Salesforce. It's a system for managing customer records.
Yes.
This person is, I don't know, a vegetarian or something like that, or tracking a sale in a pipeline.
Yeah.
What stage are they at, and what was the last reach out that you've had, that type of thing.
Yeah. Like HubSpot, basically, a bit like HubSpot, because the more sales driven. Yeah. This is your lead.
Quick favor here. I'm just taking a quick break on the podcast just to say I would really appreciate if you can click the like or subscribe button. That helps us grow. We're very new, and I would really appreciate it. And on with the show.
Yeah, and TalkBox it's a database marketing platform.
Yeah.
If we was to put a dictionary level definition on it, and so what we're all about is just leveraging the data that's already available by observing and calculating insights on that data, and then having communications go out automatically.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deep you want me to go into this. There's a whole level,
I think I know. Obviously, there's automations, right? So you can set triggers on automations. So that's one piece of it. You also read data out, right? And then you've also got your plugins as well, like 7 Rooms. And what else are you plugged into? So your 7 Rooms and
all the major reservation platforms, all the
nice.
major Wi-Fi platforms.
Yeah.
Loads of loyalty programs. I think we'll come on to loyalty later, but loyalty is a really good one for us.
Yeah.
But
what's the magic sauce?
The integrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not just that. I mean, the integrations is a magic sauce because it brings you the data.
Yes, but we analyze the data on the way in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the integration sounds great, but I think correct me if you're wrong. What you do with the data is the magic sauce.
Yes, yeah. But to get to that bit,
you need the plugins.
We need to do some stuff.
Yeah.
So historically, you would speak to a business. You'd say, okay, I'm a restaurant. I have a booking system and guest Wi-Fi. And so all that data just gets pumped through to the CRM or the database marketing platform or the CDP.
Yeah.
And it all sits in there.
Yeah.
But doing that is useful because we've collated that data. But what we've done is we've actually created more work for the customer, because now they have to look at what that data is showing them. They have to understand what the opportunities are. They have to work out how they're going to unlock those opportunities. And then they have to work out how they're going to report on it. And so suddenly I've just created about a month's worth of work.
Yeah.
So what we do nowadays through the integrations is on the data coming into TalkBox, we analyze and flatten and observe insights of that data. So when that data hits TalkBox, is in bite-sized bits of information that we can use to trigger comms. So, for example, very simply, we get to see every time a customer makes a purchase, visits the store. What we can do there is we can calculate a total visits number, which is useful. But then we say, okay, well, if you're looking at the database, total visits might say 76. What the hell does that mean? So we'll then go compare that visit against the rest of the database.
Nice, okay.
And we'll rank that customer low, medium, high.
Yeah.
Same for spend and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because if someone comes 100 times, someone comes 30 times, you're not going to do the same automation, are you?
No.
That's interesting.
So there's more to it.
Yeah,
There's a couple of
yeah.
simple examples.
Yeah.
The more interesting...
Sorry, my brain's going.
No.
So you've got, obviously, there's standard platforms out there that just have standard automations. On 5th visit, do X.
Yeah.
On 10th visit, do X. Generate voucher.
It's quite static.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is basically saying the data comes in, we can see it's your 17th visit.
Yeah.
But the average of visits is X because we look at all the data. And if an average visit is, if it's more than an average visit, you can do it. It will do X.
Yeah, you could do that.
As an
totally.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we like to say is it's a little bit like there's more nuance with TalkBox because it's adapting to customer behaviors.
Yeah.
So when you're doing static automations like 5th visit trigger,
If they're not, yeah.
yeah, every person that makes the 5th visit's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're doing a trigger to say send this on the 5th visit, you're treating everybody the same.
Yes.
Like it's this homogenous group that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
So what our platform is doing is it's treating everyone as an individual, and then aligning the comms or the automation to those individuals, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because then when you're talking to large groups and you're talking about setting automations up per location, you're actually taking advantage of the per location nuances in the visit patterns. You might have one location right next to a tube, or one location right next to a big busy office.
Yeah.
So TalkBox is doing all this thinking on behalf of the operator.
I like that.
Yeah, and then the second part is once we've done all that
Yeah.
work, is the automation. So I was thinking about what to say this morning.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of some good analogies, and I think I've got a good one. So you could go buy a database marketing platform tomorrow, right?
Yes.
That would be like buying an empty house. TalkBox would be like buying that house, but having it already furnished with everything you could ever need inside, ready to go. And that's the automation bit. So we're not an agency, but what we do is we say, okay, well, we've got customers globally. So primarily in Australia and the UK.
And US.
And we've got 18 other, and the US, yeah. And we've got 18 other countries in there as well.
Nice.
And what we do is we say, well, look, we're not an agency, but what we can see is the outcome or the output of thousands of hospitality businesses globally.
Nice.
Why don't we go and observe to see which campaigns are working the best? And let's go look at different cohorts. So we just did a nice one for fish and chip shop sector. Yeah. So interestingly, just after COVID, how are we doing for time, by the way? Am I?
No.
Maybe my coffee.
No, that was my watch buzzing, and if it buzzes 10 times, I need to look at it. If it doesn't buzz 10 times, it's okay.
Okay.
So keep continuing. It's all good.
Yeah. So what we did for the fish and chip shop sector is we looked to see which automations would work the best for QSRs. Yeah. And then we looked to see which types of offers were driving the best outcomes as well in terms of influencing visit frequencies and stuff. So now we can go to a chip shop or a QSR and say, here's the platform.
This works.
Here's the platform. Here's all the features you could ever want, right? And if you put our system next to all of our peers, we all pretty much do similar things, right? So we stand up and we hold our own, but also we've got this strategy that we know is working. It's market proven, and we're going to turn all this stuff on for you tomorrow. And when you run through the customer that list, they go, "This is exactly what we're after. This is perfect. Please turn it on." Yeah. And so they don't have to lift a finger.
That's nice. I think the challenge you have is that nowadays, depending on the packages out there, it's, as you said, you start from fresh, and it's like, okay, and marketers and businesses don't have time. They want to hit the ground and run. Yeah. They want to just go. So if you have the option to say, right, this is your concept, QSR. Yeah. We know this works. Yep. And then deploy and then run.
Yeah. And then we can build ROI calculators. Yeah. So, I've been doing sales my entire life. I understand
I
sometimes.
hate it when people put ROI, but you're right. It is.
Well, I understand skepticism,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
prospects are very skeptical of case studies.
Yes.
Did the operator really write this glowing review, or is
Yeah.
this something your marketing team put together?
Yeah.
And also ROI calculators, because it feels a bit fluffy.
Yeah.
It feels like whatever number I put into this calculator, of course you're going to tell me it's 10x
Yeah.
what I'm going to get back,
Oh, more.
right?
Yeah.
But what we're able to do is we can build this ROI calculator, and we actually reveal all the inputs to the formula.
Oh, nice.
And we say, okay, this is the ROI calculator. These numbers, these inputs are accurate
Yeah.
because it's based on the analysis we've done of thousands of venues. On average, they're getting this return
Yeah.
on this engagement rate on your emails, and they're just generating this ROI.
And then what? I guess you can add rough value per sale and per
yeah,
visit as well.
Per month we'll work.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
So
Nice.
we can tell them conservatively.
Yeah.
At current outputs, you would be getting X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
It could be more, could be less. An average is an average, But yeah,
So they've got a nice guideline. And so when you went, so then what are you doing then? Running those reports and then giving them the reports of the transactional information and the value of the data.
Yeah, every month they get a report. So we report on automations, but also as well if they've done any manual comms themselves. As
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're obviously the traction from the return rates and the click rates and the voucher generations and everything else. You add that in there as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's really interesting. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, and now you're telling everyone, which is nice to hear. So,
That's good.
Okay, awesome. So, powerhouse of a data platform, with really cool integrations, and then a bit of cool machine learning to do some fancy stuff, like as you said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that the grinding thing of the ML is basically looking at the nuance of the data, looking at the averages, looking at what other people are doing throughout, and then pulling out the responses to do, like, is that how it works?
Well, the machine learning is it's an extension of the jobs we're doing on the integration.
Yeah.
So remember, on the integrations, we want to be doing deep integrations that solve problems and make the data more easily accessible to the marketing team.
Yeah.
Because remember, the marketing team are not techie.
No.
They just want useful things they can do to enable them to talk to their customers, right? So the AI stuff, predictive analytics is probably a better word. Effectively, what we're able to do is, because we're tracking every observable visit, we have an algorithm that runs where we can predict when we think each customer is next likely to return.
Yeah, so that's the interesting piece, the prediction.
Yeah, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier about aligning the automation to individuals.
Yeah.
Rather than having static automations where you sort of put a stick in the sand and saying, we think this is the best time to send this.
I've been told this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because none of that's real.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just.
Well, that's someone's marketing experience of putting it in, because they know that works at that specific location they were at previously.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Statistically speaking, you've probably got a high likelihood that it might work because it's based on evidence in the real world.
Yeah.
But if we can go down to individual behavior, it just takes it up a level.
Yeah.
So we make that prediction. We call it the expected next visit date.
Yes.
I'm sure we could come up with a better name for that, maybe. But it does exactly what it says on the tin, really. So that is, for me.
And what's the accuracy on that?
I don't know how you would put a number on.
Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, it's interesting.
I've got a document. I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah,
but I've got a document that says the more data points we have,
of course,
the more accurate we get over time.
Yeah.
And we need a minimum of 3 visits.
Yeah.
So we work super hard when we see new people coming to the venue, because that's also a big black spot.
Yeah.
So you've got people visiting for the first time and not coming back.
Yeah.
So a lot of the automations are driving second and third visits. Once we've done that, now we can start making predictions about when we think they're coming back. And that is a small analysis that we're doing on the integration, but it has a massive output on everything else.
Yeah.
Which is, for us, is huge, because historically speaking, and again, I can speak with authority here because I've been doing this a while.
16 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
back in 2009,
Wow.
you would build a database of email addresses, and typically you would send everybody a promotion.
Yeah.
Come in on Friday night, we'll give you a free beer.
Yeah.
Right. The marketing team will go to their team meetings, and they would say, we sent 5,000 emails, we had 1,000 responses, redemptions, and those 1,000 redemptions have generated as 3-4 grand. Okay. Now, what tends to happen then is the finance director sat in the corner of the room all quietly listening, and he's thinking about this, and he's saying, oh, hang on a minute, of that £3,000-4,000 you reckon you've just made, how much of that revenue would have come in anyway? And everybody goes, I'm not too sure.
I did it for you, damn.
Yeah, I don't know.
Leave the room.
Yeah. So with the expected next visit date, what we're able to do is we're able to predict when we think the customer's next likely to come in, wait for that date to arrive, wait a bit longer, give them a little bit of leeway.
Buffer.
If they still don't visit after that period, we send them a promotion.
Nice.
If they visit within that period, we just recalculate their expected next visit date to a date further in the future, and we don't send them anything. So what we're able to do now is help businesses send better promotions without cannibalizing. It's not that
generic,
without cannibalizing existing.
Here,
revenue.
one-time use voucher, one-time use voucher, one-time use voucher. Yeah.
So when you're doing your reporting, you can speak to the team with authority to say this is incremental revenue.
Yeah.
Because there's business logic built into the discount.
Yeah.
And it also helps us get around some prospects or customers rather. They're a little bit sticky with doing a promotion.
Yeah.
I don't want to do promotions. We've never done promotions.
Yeah, we don't do promotions. Yeah.
And I go, well, hang on, let's think about it this way. If we did it this way, and we built this logic into it, would you consider it?
Yeah.
And they go, well, absolutely, because a lot of these triggers...
You're not blanket promoting.
Yeah, and a lot of the triggers, you wouldn't have got the customer in anyway.
Yes.
Because the data's telling us that.
Yeah.
So why not?
I literally have spoken to 3 people and they're like, we don't do offers.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about... I think it's more...
You don't do offers to everybody.
No, but so the conversation I've had with other people is it's about building a community. So there's loyalty, but then I think it's actually a bit of more of a community. So if you're building the community, which is basically not throwing offers to everyone, but understanding your flow of people, then you build that community because you're not just throwing an offer at someone because,
Yeah, we don't want to reward...
No.
Bad behaviour, do we? We don't have to keep discounting people.
Yeah, no, but you're right, 100%. And then you're wasting money because you're continuously rewarding people because that's what your rules say so is on first visit, do the welcome visit, really important always.
Yeah.
Second visit maybe. So maybe you have, as you said, the third visit. Why give them extra if they come in on the 7th and 8th and 9th time?
Yeah, if they're visiting your venue and we can see that, perfect.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Yeah, because you're tracking them anyway. That's really nice.
Yeah, and as I say, when you report on it, it's incremental.
Yeah.
It's
so then when you're showing the amount of vouchers you've used at the end of the month, it's not 1,000 vouchers been used. It's actually like 20% of it because they're the people that you've not churned. They're the ones they're the ones you've checked to say, that just before they churn, we've sent them a message.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when somebody says, "Why are we giving away all these free beers?" for example, then the marketing team can say, "Because these people fulfilled these conditions where they were visiting, we predicted their future visit and they
never came. Yeah.
But we thought we'd give them a nudge. Everybody else that did visit, we left them alone.
Yeah, and but you've got the tracking for them as well. So everyone else visited because of the integrations you have. You know when they came.
Yeah.
So then that gets ticked off on the platform.
Yeah.
This is good. I've spoken to you before, but we've never really delved into all of this. This is you're blowing my mind a little bit, to be honest with you. So
thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
we've usually had a couple of beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm skipping past this stuff. And we're moving on to like Google Maps or something.
Yes, and other tech stuff and sun cream.
Yes.
But yeah, this is really interesting. Sorry, I've actually
told you I was still interested in it 16 years later. It's really cool stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's like tattooed on your arm and your back and neck, isn't it? So you go to sleep looking at it. I think that's really interesting and very important because people don't understand the value of data sometimes. There's been lots of times and reports in the past where big brands, where people sign up to the website, they don't do the welcome message because their website sign up is the same as a venue walk-in. Realistically, because they're interested in your brand, they're going to sign up. Give them the same welcome message you give them for everything else. And some big brands that we work with specifically don't send any emails. They do send emails, sorry, but they'll do it every so often. They won't do it they won't look at the data. They won't look at the visit tracking. They won't look at automations. They'll see in the system. But I think a lot of people don't do it. And I also think people are scared. And I think if there's education out there, and if you can do some more education on what you've just said in the visits, more people will understand actually, because there is a worry. It's tough times. People don't want to give money, give food away, give drinks away all the time. And if you can show the value of the product and say, right, you don't have to throw away all your money at your free drink. Yeah. Give it to people who weren't going to come.
Need a nudge.
Yeah, give them the little nudge, give them the little point.
Yeah.
You know. That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, but you're right. Like sometimes we see businesses are using their data it's a reactive process.
Yeah.
And because it's a reactive process, when they've done it, there's a bit of guilt because they're going, oh Christ, we just spammed our entire database because we were in a pinch, like we were a bit quiet on Thursday, and so we wanted to do a promotion.
Yeah.
And so then it's kind of, they feel a bit guilty about doing that.
Yeah, but
and
then
so like
to your point, they've sent it to 10,000 people. Of that, half of them came last week.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just cannibalized existing revenue.
Yeah.
Let's not do that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you can go in and do. I want to send a message to people who haven't visited after X time, and then you could still do that.
You could do it manually, but
you could do it to people who only haven't visited for a month, for example.
Yeah.
Right. You just because you've got the data. So I want to send everyone an email who hasn't visited for a month and just target that segment.
Yes.
With a specific offer or deal or special.
You could do, but when you're using,
I guess you've got the automations anyway, so you wouldn't
want
redo
to
it.
You want to let the automation do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing it at scale.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing it with automation, it's a handful a day to the
Yeah.
database going out. Because everybody's going to
Do you find that with you guys, less people are sending the monthly emails, and more people are doing the automation flow?
Oh, it's a combination.
Yeah.
Right? So what we say is, here's Dropbox, here's the automation. We're going to set everything up for you. So we'll write the copy, set the promotions up, configure it. We'll turn it on.
Well, you write the copy as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know copy works well.
Yeah.
Look, some businesses are like,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
businesses are like,
we've
got our own voice.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll say, well, we'll build it,
Yeah.
and then you can tweak it. It's easy to tweak something that's already there. So I forgot where I was going with that now.
Well, with the monthly emails or
So we say let that automation run.
Yeah.
And we've got a good idea on the success rate that's going to generate for your business. And then on top of that, then the marketing team can do what the marketing team was assigned to do, which is have fun and send out marketing comms.
Yeah.
Some will do newsletters. Some will.
It'd be interesting for you to do a percentage. I'd love to know. You should do a little.
Well, we do have quite a lot of customers that don't log in.
Yeah, because they just let it go.
And historically,
and they get the report, and they're like, "Yay!"
Yeah, and historically, you speak to. I know Lucy Cunningham from Airship asked the questions for the session. You speak to Lucy. You speak to the guys at Actionable.
Yeah.
All of our peers. Back in the day, that you would look at through their customer list.
Yeah.
There'll be quite a high percentage of people that are just not logging into the platform.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing. They're scared of it.
Yes.
So what we decided to do is say, let's help them with that.
Nice.
And so that even if the customer doesn't log in because they are lack of time or whatever it may be, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We know we're adding value.
Yeah.
Because the minute we're not adding
Well, you can
value,
still prove
they
it,
just cancel the
but you can
account.
prove it, right?
Yeah.
So that's a difference as well.
Yeah.
So it is very interesting. I think I was talking to somebody today that it's like set it and forget. It sort of is that way. You can get on with the rest of the comms, and because there's so much more to do now. Like I speak to restaurant owners the whole time, and they're all like, "I haven't got time."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I haven't got time. I've got to run this. I've got to do staffing. I've got to do this, and it's like a manager doing everything. There isn't always a marketing team to run it. Even if you try and outsource it, there's budget constraints. But I guess if you have a system that can, that's what I love about these sort of platforms, that you can set it and forget.
Yeah,
because you can't. You know it's running in the background. You know it's not pissing people off.
You get an email at the end of the month telling you how successful you've been.
Yeah.
We had the account managers write little. So it's a monthly report is typically a computer spitting out some numbers, right? But then we have the account managers at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
This month you've seen this result. This is really positive and really strong.
So actually, people are writing.
Yeah, little paragraphs. So,
okay.
And we think this month. Did you know this? It's National Burger Week. You should do something for that. All that type of stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah, just to give them some prompters. But again, if they're too busy, so be it. Because as I was saying a second ago, we're a subscription-based company, right?
Yeah.
So if they're not getting value, they just
of course
switch us off.
Yeah.
So it helps us and it helps them. And
you got what? And there's no contract, or is it just?
Well, we're flexible.
Or depending on who it is.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends what we're being asked to do.
Yeah,
the nature of the engagement.
Is there a full service one where no one has time but they've got money? Do you do more? Is there more? Like, actually, can we just hand it all to you and you do all the informations, or is that not something?
I mean, I'd like to, but I think the boys in Australia would get upset with me if we did that, because we're not an agency.
Yeah,
we're a software company.
Yes,
developers effectively. Typically it's a 30-day rolling contract.
Okay, nice.
If we're doing a large deal, there's a lot of custom development work where
different.
we're not charging anything up front. We might ask for, as a gesture of goodwill, maybe a 12-month contract or something like that.
Nice. But you've given the trust and hospitality, the same as us, with what behind you. With Captive, we do the same, monthly rolling, 30 days, same thing, because the trust in the product's good.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit.
Yeah, and if you both hate each other, what's the
why?
point in being in an unhappy marriage?
Yes.
Because it's just going to create more headaches for you and them.
I agree.
And it just creates bad blood in the market.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if somebody cancels an account and wants to move on, well, you just have to say why.
Yeah.
And be better.
Yeah.
And just accept it.
Yeah.
You can't control other people's decisions to leave you, but with the contract.
And also other people come into other businesses, right?
Yeah.
We have we often sometimes have with the IT side, a bigger brand will buy the company and they get enveloped by the bigger brand. Same with probably between you as well.
Yeah,
the
we're
bigger brand
going
takes
through a
it.
little bit at the moment, actually.
Yeah. So it happens. Nothing you can do about it.
So be it.
Okay. I'm on to the big word now. Ooh, the big word. The big word of the moment, loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Well, this is a fairly good one for me.
Yeah.
Because we're not a loyalty program.
No, you're not.
So we are beholden to the loyalty providers. But what we do is add shitloads of value to the loyalty programs.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you have a specific question
to
around
be fair,
loyalty?
we talked about one previously, but it'd be interesting to understand how that works, how the plug-in to loyalty works. Because some POS platforms that you're plugged into are stock loyalty,
Yeah.
and then you're the beefy behind it. So we do loyalty, but they don't really do loyalty. They just have a token.
Well, loyalty can just be a simple case of tracking everything.
Yes, tracking. So talk to me about the data flow. Do you track purchases as well from loyalty providers that come in and then you can get the basket value and that sort of jazz?
Yeah. So we're beholden to the data. We're beholden to the platform, right? So we are the data receiver.
Yeah.
So whatever data is available, we will take that on board. So typically, it's going to be a combination of visits, and we'll do the expected next visit analysis on that. We'll look at average transaction values. We'll bring in points balances and that type of stuff. But with loyalty, what we tend to find is that a lot of our partners, and it came from Australia, to be fair, a lot of our partners in Australia had these amazing loyalty programs. They were more commonly as part of an EPOS system. But they were missing the communications piece. And as you know,
because it was just scan, nothing happened. Nothing happened, and then or maybe a tier, and no one does anything. I spoke to Lightspeed here, and Lightspeed has their own little loyalty. I didn't even know you can add a customer, and it will send an email, and you get their wallet. They do it, but it doesn't do anything. You can set it manually. I didn't know. I was just speaking to someone today about it, and but then you need the power of something else.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're part of a loyalty program, you've got to put yourself in the customer's perspective. And when I say the customer, I mean the consumer, right? Why have they joined a loyalty program? Well, they clearly love your brand, and they're going to visit often. Yeah. Right. You're only going to do that. So loyalty is not going to necessarily take a newbie and turn them into a loyal customer overnight. They already have to be a little bit loyalty to want to join loyalty club. So they do that, and then they leave the restaurant and they go home, and then their child's been sick, and their kid's got sports day, and their boss is up their back, and they forget. Yeah. And I go to Costa Coffee quite regularly after I dropped Erin off at nursery in the morning, and I can't remember the last time I scanned my loyalty card. I could have had a number of free coffees, but I just forget. Yeah. Because you did. So what we could do is we come along and say, look, you've got this amazing loyalty program. You've got the foundations of a journey that we're going to take the customer through to keep them engaging with the business. And what we're going to do is alongside that loyalty program, we're going to nurture that customer. We're going to drive them through the program at speed. Yes. We're going to remind them where they're at in the program.
Oh, nice. And remind how many points they have and that sort of
jazz. Well, points is a big one. Yeah. Because if you've got points-based loyalty, if you've got too many customers with too many high balances, it actually becomes a risk to your business. Yeah. The idea is that if they all redeem it the same day.
My McDonald's app just deleted itself, and all my points have gone. Not that I go to McDonald's often, but I've had it for quite a while.
Maybe someone in accounting said, Jesus.
They were like, Jesus, he's not used them for 5 years. But you're right. Yeah, there's lots of value.
Well, it's a risk, right? Because if you've got 10,000 people and they can all redeem £20 worth of points, and they all did it on the same day, you're in trouble. Yes. So what we do is we have these little campaigns where we acknowledge that somebody's got high points on their account, and we'll just gently remind them that, hey, if you redeem this today, you're going to get £10 off or whatever.
Yeah. Or if you don't redeem them today, they're gone.
Say again?
Or if you don't redeem them today, they're gone.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, but that would be down to the loyalty provider,
of course.
Yeah. We would just send an email telling them that's what they've done.
Okay, nice. So I guess you're right. There are a lot of platforms out there that have basic loyalty, like EPOS platforms that have basic loyalty but don't have the technology driver behind it. Yeah. So you end up being that bolt-on. So some people, you don't really need to build loyalty as a solution, but what you have done is become the driver for it.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is nice, because that's really interesting, because there's sometimes you have to go get a loyalty platform, then get a CRM, and then your POS, and then sometimes sometimes is integrated, sometimes isn't. You've got like Magic Stamp and other bits and bobs that's completely separate, but there's no real traction for it. So it's nice to see that even if a platform has basic loyalty, like most POS do, if you can plug in and pull the data out, then you can help let them, well, not help spend, but help bring the customer back.
Yeah, and even if you've got a very simple loyalty program.
Yeah.
Because
I was saying to you, you haven't got loyalty, you need to build loyalty, blah, blah, blah. I didn't understand why you don't. But now I'm understanding why you don't, because you sort of plug into what's already there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because why build something separate when most of them already have some form? Most POSs will have some form of...
Yeah, and also some customers don't want a loyalty program.
Yeah.
Loyalty is horses for courses.
It's a big thing right now. Like, so we talked about the other day about touchless loyalty, right? So you book a table, a 7 Rooms restaurant, right? So I've gone and booked my table through 7 Rooms. I've booked my table. I've arrived. I've arrived. I visited because it's an successful visit, right? I've signed into the Wi-Fi. So, and I've accepted the terms. I've become a loyalty or market opting customer. You don't need, if the visit is successful, why do you need to get them to sign up to a loyalty platform when you have that data already? You've got those points.
Yeah.
So why not say, thanks so much for coming, we've given you X.
Yeah, of course.
There's lots of brands out there that make you download the app. You download the app and then you've got to scan the wallet and so on. But if you think about it, Wi-Fi, booking, or even credit card payment, if it's an integrated credit card payment, for example, those 3 points, they're there. So, and they've already enrolled loyalty. So why not just give them the points and then send them a text message, send them an email saying, thanks so much for visiting. This was your bill, because if you've got the POS integration, or if 7 Rooms has the finance information, you can pull that through. Then you've built loyalty.
Well, yeah, and we're actually working on card linking at the moment. Ooh. So we'll be able to do exactly that.
Yeah.
So we'll know you've been in, and we can give you some points, and we can talk to you about your visit.
That's interesting, because that's a tricky piece.
Yeah, it requires a couple of things to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the beauty of having a huge parent company in Australia is everything gets built and tested over there before it comes over here. So when it comes over here, it's ready to rock. Yeah,
but I think if I'm not mistaken, I spoke to MX51. They're coming over, I think, next week or this week. They're a payment provider in Australia. Okay. Awesome guys. Australia has a lot of card-based loyalty, like credit card-based loyalty.
Yes,
loads,
yes.
like loads and loads and loads.
Well, that's where our loyalty stuff comes from. Yes. Comes from the Aussies. They have lots of clubs, neighbourhood clubs. You have to scan when you buy a beer, scan when you play tennis. Scan
but it's all done by the actual credit card. So the credit card. It's all done. Lots of it done by points based by the actual physical credit card they use. Yeah. It's very popular over there. And then over here, the challenge we have is over there it's very different. I think you've got 3 main providers over there. And then all the banks have to use those integrators to get your POS working, and so on. Right. Over here, you've got more like Dojo, and then obviously the other POSs have their own now payments. So it's very interesting to understand how that would work. But we were looking at a solution the other day. A colleague of mine has a wallet pass company.
Yes,
called Pass Entry. Hi, Nico. And it's very clever at what he's doing. And he's built an add-in integration and an Android thing as well. So basically, you go pay on any device that's Adyen, which is Vita, which is Lightspeed, Revel, you name. Most of the providers use Adyen. You go to pay, it tells Adyen to query if there's a wallet.
Okay.
If there's a wallet, it will then send transactional data, the amount, to the loyalty provider or to you, for example. So you don't even need to, like the card linking data as such, you don't even need to link the card. Yep. You just tap, and that information is then sent. Now, the cleverer way of it doing is it can go back to their platform and say, "Oh, you got £10 credit." It will then take it off the machine. Oh, okay. I think that's going to be some of the future,
whether a reward
right?
Has been delivered,
and all you need is the wallet in your phone. You don't need the app, which helps with kiosk-based stuff and everything else. So I think the card linking and that piece is really interesting. We're actually speaking to a customer about that. I need to speak to you about that later. But that's definitely those two pieces: the card linking. Because Square Meal's just done it. Have you seen Square Meal? The Square Meal have used Fidel, which is a similar. It's an open source card linking platform.
Okay.
So you use them, plug it into your platform, you link your card, and then anyone who uses that card at that venue is then tracked.
Right.
So you sort of link it, because the GDPR is difficult, right? You got to link that person. So Lightspeed now have the payments. They know it's person X, but they can't link it yet.
Yeah.
So they're working on that. So once that happens and it plugs into yours, crazy power crazy power.
More data as well.
Yeah, and you don't need to worry about it because one, if they're connected to Wi-Fi, for example, and then they've paid, they've visited and paid and left.
Yep.
Which is awesome. I think the future of all is coming. It's really interesting how things are changing because the card linking has been around for a long time, but no one's really used it well.
Yeah.
It's very much, here's a loyalty platform, put your credit card in. I'm not going to touch my credit card. Do you know what I mean? So I think I think open banking and everything else is making people a bit more open to it. Okay, so we're going to talk about what's next. What's next? What is next? We talked about card linking, to be fair. You've said that. Is there new stuff you can share? Because we're coming towards the end. As a tear comes down my eye.
What next?
Can you share anything? Any secrets?
Well, that's what I'm trying. That's the thought process that's going on in my mind right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do know some stuff's happening. I don't know how much I can. Is that crickets? Was it? I could probably say, well, we're working on card linking.
Yes.
That's happening. And this is very early, but we are about to. So currently, the communication channels through TalkBox are email and SMS.
Yes.
We're working on a third one. Yeah, so you'll be able to. So we'll become more omni-channel.
Yeah.
And we're working on an integration with Firebase to allow us to send push notifications.
Ooh,
which is pretty cool because
that's
the
nice.
whole push notifications is a little bit. It's very different from email.
Yes.
The journey and the steps and the.
But then you can push
requiring
into
a
app.
new
Then
UI.
you can push into app, right?
You can push to app, yeah. So
and
Firebase,
it doesn't matter what app you've got. Well, depending on if they work with
they
the
need
platform.
a Firebase.
Yeah, which most people use Firebase. To be fair, yeah.
It's Google, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be able to add loads more value.
Yeah.
Because, well, we just become more omnichannel, and what we'll be able to do is leverage all the intelligent decision making that TalkBox does behind the scenes in terms of analyzing behaviors. And use that with a push as well.
Yeah.
So you've got this nice.
Because some people don't see emails, some people don't ignore SMSs, but when you get a push.
Yeah, but look, you can miss a push, right? So
Yeah.
Because
does Firebase does it detect if you missed a push and then can you fire an email afterwards?
No idea. That's somebody. So I like to say my job is to be the window on somebody else's work.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't develop anything.
There is a tool.
I just talk about how great it is.
There is a base. I don't know which product it is, but there's a base code for similar to Firebase. I don't remember the name of it, but it can detect if the push notification fails.
Yeah, I'm aware that there's a level of tracking
Yeah.
that you can do on it.
Yeah, because if it fails, then you can send an email, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the other thing I was about to say. So push can be quite ethereal
Yes.
things as well, because you can click on a push and it just disappears.
Yeah.
It deep links to the app. But if you can't remember what the push notification said,
Yeah, I get that.
and you don't go to a landing page, you're just sat in an app, and it's like walking into a room and wondering why you walked in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
So, you can have the follow up via
That's
email
nice.
or SMS.
That's
that type of
important.
stuff.
That's amazing. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
And then and some more stuff on AI.
Okay. Some more stuff or
Some. But
some.
I'm
And
not,
do you think they do anything about WhatsApp or not? Do you think that might be a channel? Because there's awesome AI tools out there. Sorry, not some automation tools out there for WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp is one that doesn't pay. You don't pay for SMS sending, right? Obviously, you have to pay for the product. But there's some cool new tools that just come out that do complete automation on WhatsApp.
yeah. I think we've looked into it. It's just a question that. Again,
It's adoption as well, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So
If a customer came to you with 300 sites and says we want to build this, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're not going to say no to that. But I think you could do many things, right?
Yeah.
And the hardest decisions are the ones where you have to say, okay, we can do 50 things, but what are the 5 things that are going to add the most value?
Yeah.
Let's do them.
Yeah.
So we know
You could do everything. You could be a master of what was it? Master of all. No, what was it? What was the term?
jack of all trades
And a master of none. Yeah.
So
Thanks.
if we was to see some data that says WhatsApp was more effective than SMS, we'd do it tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't know on the efficacy of WhatsApp as a marketing channel. I think for a comms channel, like managing bookings with AI and do you have a vegetarian menu? Yes, we do. That type of thing
the
was
conversational
really cool.
piece.
But sending someone a promotional code, for example, I don't know.
I think
It might work.
Yeah.
It might work, but we don't have any.
Yeah, visibility.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
don't
Interesting. I'm interested to hear about the card linking thing when that happens. That's really cool.
Well, Lockie's back over at the end of the year. No, not end of the year. Sorry, sooner than that. I think it's September. So
Awesome.
Not long.
Is he going to be here for the show? Is he going to be here for the show or HRC, I think, or no HRC Expo or one of them. I don't remember now.
Potentially, we usually tie it in with a show.
Yeah, nice. Okay, we're coming to the end, and I was putting in what's coming next. When's the David Bird podcast coming out?
I don't know. I've
you
really
need to do
enjoyed
more
myself.
content, man. This is just easy for you. You just roll it out. You're like, oh, I'm a bit nervous. Jesus, like
I was this morning.
this morning, and then you sat in my comfy
I've
office.
really enjoyed myself. This has been really awesome.
Thank you for coming. But we need more content. We need to hear more about.
Yeah, I know. We're not very good at shouting about how cool we are.
I just get text messages saying, just signed 800 site in America. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, we just we just do good work and people are happy and they love what we do. So.
Yeah, I think you need to be. You've been around for a long time in the company. I think you need to take the leap and just
the limelight.
Yeah, and just have a chat. Even if you're talking to yourself, and it's hard talking to yourself. I'll happily talk to you. You just mute me out.
Maybe you could be the first guest.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. And you can talk to your clients as well.
Yeah.
You know, because they love a bit of limelight. Anyway, I digress. Let's go on to the questions. So, best restaurant.
Best restaurant. Mm-hmm. We've got a few for this one, and I didn't know whether you would allow an international selection.
Whatever you like. You can have two if you want. People have done two.
Well, no. I tell you what. I'm a massive fan of. I'm a massive fan of Labab.
Yeah.
Like, there's different restaurants out there, but Labab is just phenomenal.
Have you been to the one downstairs in the Covent Garden, Maison Bab, which is like the Master Chef thingy?
The one we went to was in Soho.
Yeah, the one. Oh, is it Soho? Soho. Soho. You're right.
And some of the flavors were like so unique.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had been out with Alex Dyer from Mr. Yum.
Yeah.
Now at Bazimpli. So we'd had a few pints.
Yeah.
But it was incredible. I really like Labab.
Yeah, the Bab is good. Yeah, and Stephen's a bit techie, so
I spoke to Stephen a few times. Yeah,
it's a
I
good
like
brand.
Stephen.
One of our clients. Thank you.
Cool.
Best burger.
Again, best burger. We have to go international for this one. It have to be In-N-Out Burger in California.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
I spent 4 months in Los Angeles when I was 21.
Yeah.
Which is like the ideal time to spend 4 months
Yes.
in Los Angeles because we could go out, right? We
Yeah.
could go and drink beer.
Yes,
So
21.
I was working in a summer camp. And,
Yeah.
all the other counsellors were like 18.
Yeah.
And there's about 4 of us that were 21.
We're gone by.
We used to go out in Hollywood all the time.
Nice.
And then have an
In-N-Out
In-N-Out burger on the way home. In-N-Out burger is phenomenal.
Okay.
But then
every so often they come here.
Yeah,
and
they do little pop-up shops.
They have to keep their trademark, so they have to do like one a year. There's always a huge queue down the road when it's like some random
I
place.
don't know what it is. It's just phenomenal. And then you've got and I like the secret menu idea that they have. Did you know about that one?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've never had one though, but I do know about the secret menu.
Yeah, but it's cool because we were.
What about here? Talk me about burgers here. Come on.
It's got to be Five Guys.
Really? Sorry,
Yeah.
that went high.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I like it. It's quite similar to
Do you do
In-N-Out.
secret menu?
Do they do a secret menu?
No. Have you tried the secret menu?
No, I didn't know they did one.
Ah, so you know the.
See, this is why secret menus are good fun, right?
For great fun. And it's cheaper as well. They do
'cause it
the
is quite
cheese
expensive,
toasty.
isn't it?
You know the little cheese. They do like the cheese patty. Well, not cheese toasty. But they do like a cheese toasted cheese sandwich. They do.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's basically like an upside down burger bun,
Okay.
and then like cheese in the middle.
Nice.
You can add a patty in there, and it's actually and go all the way, and it's cheaper than getting a burger.
That's phenomenal.
So there you go.
I've probably got an hour to kill before I get on the train home. So
Done. Just around the corner.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good one. Okay. Best hotel.
The Bellagio in Las Vegas is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then I went to a venue called, and some of your listeners might know this actually, the Body Holiday.
The
in Saint
Body
Lucia,
Holiday.
in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's quite expensive. So we went for our honeymoon, and you get like massage, spa treatments every day.
Oh my god.
You can pay for more, but you get like these are standard. You can do as little as you like or lots as you like. You can go mountain biking and all sorts. But the resort is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my best one in the UK is probably Premier Inn on Goode Street.
Really?
Yeah.
So
the
on
Premier Inn hub, right?
Yeah.
We stay in there every
Yeah.
time we come to London.
Yeah.
It's functional.
Yeah.
I have a clean bed.
Yeah.
The location's great, and I've
Yeah.
never had a bad experience.
I have
But it has to be up there, right?
I have to say that I did this the other day, and my wife, my kid does dance, right?
Okay.
And my wife went to Swindon, and we have like Hilton Honors on this credit card thing. She normally does that. There's no Hilton anywhere near there, and Hiltons aren't those ones like that are further out.
Yeah.
Aren't always the best. She's like, I'm going to book the Premier Inn. and she booked it, and it was amazing.
You never have a bad night's
Yeah.
sleep in the Premier Inn.
Yeah, it was really good. And she said that it was. I think it must have been you because they were even selling the bed. You could buy the bed. You could buy the bed,
Oh, okay.
that style of bed, because it was. And she said it was the best sleep I've ever had. I said probably because of me not snoring, but
Yeah.
No, okay, I
Best doesn't
understand
always
that.
have to mean expensive, does it?
No, it doesn't have to be expensive, but sometimes it's hard. You go to the non-expensive and
Well, I talked to you about that. When Lockie was over, I'll make it very brief because I've seen
Yeah.
the time. Lockie was over not so long ago, and he decided to go on TripAdvisor and find the cheapest hotel in London.
love that.
I probably shouldn't name drop it in case
No.
they're listening, but the night he stayed there, someone was stabbed outside the hotel, and he said, "Oh, it was cheap." And we
Yeah.
said, "Yeah,
So
but
next time, tell him to go on TikTok and find the cheapest hotel because you'll probably find an awesome hotel that's really cheap.
Yes.
But on TikTok.
yeah, TikTok's great, by the way."
Yeah. It's the search engine. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Let me do.
problem.
I'm going to give you all a round of applause. Let me turn that volume up. We didn't do a little dancing. I normally do a bit of a boogie.
I was concerned that was going to happen. Yeah, I
shit,
saw
I think we should do
your-
a quick one now. Hold on. I could always add it into the beginning, but let's do it in the end. So this is. There we go.
Is this royalty free music?
It's royalty free. Absolutely. So there we go. Normally it's the beginning. There we go. Woo. There we go.
There you go.
All right, so another round of applause. Thank you so much. This is David Burr from Impact Data. How can they find you? How can they find Impact Data?
You can.
Don't give your mobile number out.
Don't give them out.
Don't give your mobile number out.
No. You can catch me at david.bird@impactdatauk.co.uk, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Just type in David Bird Impact Data.
Okay.
I mean, I've written them down.
Have you? Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Round of applause for me. Completely forgetting the questions for the next guest. So this is a bit embarrassing. Thank you. I need a co-host. I think.
Yes. Okay. Well, that'd be a good little foray into podcasting.
Yeah, because I completely missed it. Okay, 2 questions for the next guest. It could be anyone. It could be marketing, or I told you he was coming actually. So it's Pretty from Sentiment Search.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 2 questions for the next guest.
Okay. Well, I was running out of time this morning before I left, so I used AI. I asked ChatGPT
Did you?
to give me the questions.
What version?
The free one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. So for Prithee, now he's probably going to like these actually. First one.
Yeah.
As technology continues to evolve, how do you see the role of artificial intelligence transforming the guest experience in hospitality industry over the next 5 years?
Nice.
Now, the key to that is guest experience, right?
Yeah.
So we can all put AI in software
Yes.
to make the software do cool things, but how does AI is it going to improve a guest experience when
Yeah.
they're out and about enjoying their evenings? So that's the first one.
It would do a deep dive onto your profile, social profiles, and pull it out. He likes In-N-Out Burger.
Yes. Yeah. And then this is pretty standard. I mean, you can.
We like standard ones. That's okay.
What are this is Chat? It's not me. This is ChatGPT.
So
What
upsetting.
are some of the most innovative
Yeah.
tech solutions you've seen recently that have the potential to significantly improve operational efficiency?
Operational efficiency.
Yes.
That's a great question for him, to be honest with you. He'd be like, my software.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
yeah.
right. That's what I mean. And no, that wasn't.
What do
planned,
you
so I didn't
think?
know.
What do you think? What helps the customer experience?
What,
What-
in terms of AI stuff?
yeah,
I think AI is not going to have a direct impact on the consumers. It's just going to it's going to affect them, the way that they engage with the brand.
Yes.
In easier ways. So I still think it's more of a tech. AI is solving a tech problem.
Yeah.
It's not solving a human problem, but it's just going to make humans have more seamless experiences with their engagement with the venues, whether it be finding them, booking with them,
yeah,
paying, all sorts of stuff, I think. And particularly around feedback.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to do.
I could also see sensors being looped into AI. So then when someone just comes out the pool and there's a little earpiece in there, they know who you are. Because there's good hotels will be like, oh, did you enjoy tennis? But not everyone has the opportunity to do that. So if you were able to have tracking on where they go and where they've been, and that feeds to a central hub so that someone gets a buzz on their watch or on their phone.
I saw some venues in Las Vegas doing this.
Yeah.
You would check in, and then they would bring up your favourite drink to the room.
Yeah.
Hi, and they would call you by your name. Hi,
Yeah.
Mr. Bird. Here's your favourite bottle of beer.
Yeah.
And you didn't ask for it.
No.
You just got it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that personalization piece is happening more and more now. And I think AI is going to help with that.
Yep.
The worrying thing is how they deep diving into you.
Yeah.
Hold on, he put a post on TikTok about
Well,
the favourite beer he likes. Let's take that.
Yeah, we need controls and
Well, to be fair,
regulations.
I guess if you're eating at the restaurants there as well, they know what you're having. So yeah, okay. So we'll start again. Here we go. There we go. I'll have to join that. I don't do edits, so this is going to be really fun. You'll be like, where's the questions? Thank you so much for coming.
No
This
worries.
is David Bird at Impact Data, and we had some technology challenges. Hopefully the voice will work, but we'll listen to it in a minute. Thank you so much. Bye everyone.